Good morning and welcome to Fibertown. I'm Emily. It is June 12th, 2013, and this is episode 21. I am outside today on my porch again, and there's kind of a sad reason for that. Our air conditioner died, and you don't mess with summer in DC. The humidity is outrageous, and it's been pretty darn hot in our house. So this is an unexpected and massive expense, but c'est la vie. So yay! At any rate, let me introduce myself on the social medias. I am Chain of Fools on Ravelry and Plurk. I am Fibertown on Hipcast, YouTube, MyFitnessPal, and Instagram. My blog is Fibertown with an re.blogspot.com. And is that it? I'm on iTunes. Alrighty, so this is episode 21, as I said, and I have a few welcomes. Hello, everybody in the group. We're up over 200, which is pretty darn awesome. Yes, and Alice is here and wants to say hello, too, because I have cookies. So I'm a popular lady today. All right, Al, you want to come up? Come on. Come and get your cookie, girl. Come and get your cookie. Yay! Let the people see your funny face. Can I get a shake? Thank you. All right, there you go. Isn't my funny? This is my pretty, pretty princess. Isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she? I think she is. Ooh. All right, so Alice wants to say hello and welcome to A1 Darwin. That's Ashley from Maryland. Stitch That, who is Jackie from Connecticut. Amy Bernhardt, who is Amy from New Jersey. Linda315, who's from New Hampshire. And Life Full of Laugh, who is Lisa. And Lisa, I forgot to write down where you're from. But hey! These people all said hi on the intro thread, so thanks for doing that, and welcome to the group. And don't forget to put your June FOs in the FO thread. Oh, I have one iTunes thank you. Thank you so much to Craigoth for leaving an awesome review. Excellent, excellent. And everyone, blow a kiss to Al. She's off to play while we talk knitting. Okie dokie. So, I have a thank you to Lady Fernico, who is Marlisha of the Pen, Hook, and Needle podcast. Alice Hare. She is one of the fantastic ladies of the Pen, Hook, and Needle podcast. Stop it. Yes, I have more cookies. Okay, go have one over there. She sent me a pattern because I was so bummed about my Ede not fitting last week. I have an update on that, but she was so kind to send me a pattern as a gift. Okay, last one, that's all. And let me show you what it is. It's something that's been in my queue for a while. Oh, Ravelry, don't be. Okay, it's called the Peacock Shawlette by Kitman Figueroa. Ravelry's making me sign in again. Hang on. And I have had this pattern paired with a yarn in my stash for a couple years now. So I have them both to show you. I don't think I'll be casting it on right away, but it's definitely in the queue. The Peacock Shawlette looks like this. Isn't that beautiful? Looks like peacock feathers. And I think I might take a risk and knit it out of something that's variegated. But the colors are fantastic. Take a look. This is the Flock Bransonas hand-painted silk fingering, 450 yards in the Dolly colorway. Isn't that beautiful? Got this at a fiber festival, I think the Shenandoah Fiber Festival. So yay, that is in the back of my head. That'll be beautiful someday. So thank you, Marlisha. She is super sweet, and I'm really enjoying their podcast. They have a really nice rapport, mother-daughter rapport, so adorable. All right, I have no FOs today, although I do have some news about my Ede. It has been reblocked, and sorry, my hair is, it has been reblocked, and it is fitting massively better. So what I did is I soaked it, and then I hung it up so that the weight of the garment would hopefully would pull on the armholes and make it bigger. So it worked. It's tolerable. It's a smidge better than tolerable, and I can live with that. So, yay. Now if I could maybe, I've been working out, as you can tell. I can maybe need to do some exercises to decrease my armhole area. Just joking. So I do have some whips, several whips, 4 whips to be exact. The first is my sock that I'm designing, and I finished 2 repeats on it total. Not since last time I showed you, but I have 2 total repeats. So take a look. I'm going to call these something about, I don't know what I'll name this pattern, something with ear in it, because I have the ear of corn, which is that stitch right there, and then I have the ears of grass, which is this right here, the lace. And the ear of corn I took from the Ed A pattern, and the ears of grass I got from a Barbara Walker stitch book. Doing these on my carbons 1.5s, and I think I might do 1 more repeat and then do the heel. I'll do a heel gusset, not on the bottom of the heel. That's my favorite. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do the heel flap yet, but I might try to carry the lace down the heel. I don't know. Might not wear very well. These are out of Hazelknit's Artisan Sock. Got this at Fiber Space last summer. This is the Sagebrush colorway, and I really enjoy working with this. I have a couple other colorways of this. So, I don't know, maybe I'll make these socks short so I can have a good amount left for like a color work project. It'd make a beautiful color affection. Alright, so that is the first whip. The second is in my Knitting Den bag. And these are my mint chocolate chip socks out of Fiber Nymph, striped on the bounce base. I'm doing the Vanilla Bean pattern by Emily Locke, which is just a slip one, knit one. No, I have no more cookies. Get down. It's just a slip one, knit one when you come to the color change, and it's a lot of fun. I've started the heel flap. You probably can't tell, but I'm doing the heel flaps now. And I'm doing them instead of slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one, and then purl back the next row. I'm doing slip one, purl one, slip one, purl one, slip one, purl one, and then I'm knitting back the next row. And that's just a little faster for me because I'm a slow purler. So these are going to be short socks too, because they need to go in a lot of knit-alongs this month. A lot of knit-alongs, a lot of self-striping knit-alongs. So that's my easy travel car knitting. So that's my second whip. That's it for the socks. I have another that you've seen before. This is in a bag I made. Got this fabric in Florida when we were in Florida last summer. My husband worked in Sanibel for a month, and we joined him, and it was wonderful. So this is from my loop handspun, my Sorry Charlie bat, and you might remember the last time I showed you, I had gotten completely fed up with this because the yarn is teeny tiny. It's a teeny tiny 2-ply. Take a look. That is a 2-ply. What was I thinking? Here's what I was thinking. I was thinking, how thin can I spin? This is how thin I can spin. This is a 2-ply. But it's crazy. I don't want to knit that. So this started out as the whippoorwill. It's not the whippoorwill anymore. It's some Frankenstein shawl. I don't know what it's going to look like when it's done. But that is okay. I am done with stockinette on this. Look at that, because the purl rows were almost 500 stitches. Ain't nobody got time for that. Purling 500 stitches on practically cobweb is something. What? The dog is looking at me funny. It is something up with which I will not put. So, I decided, let's do some garter. And then I decided, let's do some yarn over knit 2 together, just random stuff. And my friend Leanne was looking at this last night when we were knitting, and she was like, I think the garter will give it nice weight at the bottom. So, I think she's right. So anyway, you can see that I'm done with the yellow, and I'm on to this lovely blue. And I had quite a bit of barber pulling where the blue and yellow met, and I wasn't liking how it looked. It was too contrasty. Sorry, my hair is bugging me. It was too contrasty, so I just broke the yarn and threw away a mass of blue and yellow barber pole. And I attached some nice blue. Just didn't like the look of it. So, gosh, people keep texting me, sorry. I am on the second to last little ball. So I've got this much blue, and then this much blue. And honestly, I don't remember when I cast this on. Maybe last fall. It's going to take me a year. It's just something I work on between, you know, if I finish another project. This gets a little bit of attention. Alrighty. There it is. It's going to be big. It's going to be like color affection big. Out of lace weight. Okay, the next work in progress, excuse me, while I drink out of my pickle jar, is a design. And it is a sweater for my son, who will be 6 in a few months. And it's going to be color work. I'm using, okay, dog. Would you like to join us? Because I'm all out of cookies. But you don't seem to agree that I am all out of cookies. It is out of Sirdar Country Style Double Knitting. Sirdar Country Style Double Knitting. Had this for a while, a couple years, and with the idea to make him a sweater, a colorwork sweater. No! That is my hazelnuts. Leave it alone. Usually Alice doesn't bother my stuff. You're cute. Sorry. She doesn't bother my yarn or my fiber, except for when I got my Finn raw fleece. She could not leave it alone. And I thought I had it like bagged up tightly and put away from her. I may have told this story before, but no. She walked by me one day before I had finished washing that fleece. This was the Burketta fleece. And she walked by me and I was like, it smells like a sheep in here. The dog smells like a sheep. She had ripped a hole in the bag, taken it out, and rolled in it. It just smelled too darn good. So, but usually she leaves my stuff alone. She's a good girl. I taught her early on, no fleece for you. No fleece for you. No yarn for you. Go get where's your toy? Where's your toy? Where's your bone? Anyway, as I was saying, this is from the Sirdar Country Style Double Knitting, and I'm using that gray color I showed you, plus a brown and a green. Nice little boy colors. And I'm making this up with the help of 2 books. First is this one, Knitter's Handy Book of Sweater Patterns. And if you've never seen one of these Ann Budd books, they're pretty darn awesome. I'm doing a seamless yoke. She has, let's see, how many sweater types in here? Drop shoulder sweaters, modified drop shoulder sweaters, set-in sleeve, saddle shoulder, raglan, and seamless yoke. And she has, I don't want to give too much away, but you find your gauge, you find your size, and she has charts with stitch numbers and instructions, and it's kind of wow. Wow, look at all of that. So I've made a couple of I've used a couple of these patterns, and she has another one that is just Knitter's Handy Book of Patterns, and that has socks and hats and sweaters and mittens. So I've used those books before. They're really handy. So I'm using the numbers from that book, and then I'm using Mastering Color Knitting by Melissa Leitman, and this has a whole treasury of Fair Isle patterns, charts. Super handy. So I'm using those two, and I'm just picking colorwork bits from the Mastering Color Knitting, and I'm using the numbers from the Ann Budd book, and I'm making him a seamless yoke sweater. And here's my swatch. It's a sleeve. The yoke itself is going to have hedgehogs. Super excited. Let me show you. I'm using a free pattern from Ravelry. It looks like this. Ugh. Sorry. It's a free download. It's called the Hedgehog Hats. It's by Lizzie, I think is her name, Elise Cohen. And there's a hedgehog chart that looks like a pretty easy stranded chart. Not a lot of floats, like the most floats you're going to have are in the hedgehog face. So it's gonna have hedgehogs along the yoke. He wants like a kangaroo pocket, but I'm worried that might be too busy, because I'm gonna have color work on the end of on the wrists, color work on the yoke. I'm thinking a pocket might be a bit much, but he loves pockets. So here's my swatch, and it's gonna get ripped out because I blocked it and everything. I tried it on him, and he said, "Ooh, I love it. But is it going to be more comfortable when it's done?" So it's too tight. The color work is just too tight. Although it's not bunchy, I did an okay job on it. I need to go up a size, and I want this to fit him for a long time. So I do color work too tightly. It's just me. I'll show you the floats. They're not terrible, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is doing the color work. When I do the color work parts, I'll go up a needle size. I think that will help. So it'll be like ribbing on one needle, color work on another, stockinette on a third. So I'm excited, but this is going to have to get ripped out, and I'll do another swatch, sleeve swatch. So I don't know. I don't have a name for that project yet. The hedgehog sweater, I suppose. So those are my whips. Did I leave anything out? Okay. Spinning. On to spinning. Oh, excuse me as I go out of frame. I finished my Greenwood Fiberworks Figs Merino. Came out so pretty. I got 320 yards of a fractal spin, so 2-ply, and I adore this. Love the colors. So that'll go in the stash, in my Stash O Purple handspun, for a possible party mix sweater someday. I have been spinning something new. It is the Loop Cloud, Spontaneous Spinning Cloud. I've just got my whole flyer here. I only have 2 ounces of this. I think it's called Precious Metals. It does have some sparkle, but going from this pewter color through this sort of metallic-y taupe, and it's just gorgeous. I'm going to get the second half of it on the bobbin soon. Here is the rest of it. Excuse me. I don't want to drop my flyer. Here's the rest of it. So I'm going to separate these colors out. I'm going to have them try to have the second bobbin match the first, so that we have minimal barber poling. And this is so soft and nice. I'm thinking it'd be a really nice lacy cowl, because it definitely needs to be next to skin. It's too hot for that. Spinning, what else? I was knitting last night with a friend, and she has some hand spun that she got from a mutual friend like 6 years ago, she said. And it is still in the singles state because this particular friend hates to ply. So it's beautiful. It's really well spun. It's by our friend Sarah, who's now in Germany. Hey, Sarah. If you're watching, I don't know if you are. She has a newborn. Kind of busy lady. She has 3 kids. So yeah, it's merino silk. And I'm guessing there's about 1,000 yards of singles here, based on some of the yardage she gave me. And it's got purples and oranges and grays. And my friend said, maybe you can ply this for me, because I'm not going to use it as a single. It's just too small a weight. So I'm going to do some sampling, see what it looks like as a 2-ply. Sorry, Alice is chasing a fly. Alice, don't jump up there. See what it looks like as a 2-ply, see what the colors look like. I'll be curious to see what the energy is like on a 6-year-old singles. It's been resting a long time. And in the cakes, too. I don't know if that will affect how it comes out. So it should be fun. I kind of went dye crazy last week, and I walked by my fiber shelf, and I was like, that's a lot of white fiber. That needs to be dyed. So I had 2 pounds of Polworth top, Cormo roving, and Polworth, Cormo, and Falkland. And I got out my acid dyes and all my dye equipment, and I had myself a little afternoon of dyeing. So what I did is I pulled each topper roving into just little chunks. And this was with the idea of making bats. And I put some yellow dye in the dye pot. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I was talking about dyeing. So as I was saying, I had yellow dye in the dye pot. Started with that. And I lined my dyes up from like lightest to darkest, or sort of as they, I went yellow, then orange, then red, then I did, I think, purples and blues and greens, and then browns and pinks and blacks. So that if I had some dye left in the dye pot that wasn't exhausted out, that I would add, for example, I still had a little yellow dye, then I added some orange, and the orange mixed with the yellow. And I did another batch. And then if there was still a little bit of orange left, I just left it in the water and I added some red. And I actually added I did a lot of playing around with color, and it was a lot of fun. So I have a ton of dyed roving and top now. I think this is Falkland. So yellow, oranges, what else? Reds are next. And I decided to add a little black to the red, and it really deepened that particular red. So there's nothing consistent about this dyeing. It was just playing with color. I have some browns, one lighter than the other. I think I added some black as well to the brown dye bath. It's hard to get a good brown, at least for me. I have purples. More purples, some pinks. Let's see, lots of greens and blues and grays. This one is like, I added gray to the blue. Some chartreuse in there with the green. And it was a lot of fun. And I did all this because I wanted to make some bats. So let me show you. I made 2 bats. The first I was inspired by a sunny day. This is my sunny day bat. And folded up, it looks like this. And then as it's unfolded, I put some yellow in there for the sky and some of my white fin for clouds. Yellow for sun, blue for sky, white for clouds. I did another one with fire colors, which is much bigger. This is like a 2+ ounce, bat. So I've got reds, oranges, and yellows. and it unrolls to look like this. So just having fun. Then my daughter made one out of rainbow colors, and that has been, she's spinning that actually. Giving it a good try anyway. She gets frustrated after the single breaks. Alrighty, so the Cormo roving is this part of this yellow. I don't know if you can see it. It was not as well prepared as I would have liked, so I don't know what that will do to the spinning, but it's definitely got some like mini neps. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. There's little lumps in there. So not the best preparation. But anyway, that should just be fun spinning. I don't know how I'll spin them. I'll probably try to barber pole it. And I apologize for the manic dog noises. She's having some fun down there with her bone. Okay, so up and coming, I have been participating in the Stash Dash with the Knit Girls, and I think I have about 1,600 yards with my A-Day sweater and some spinning, mainly. And I think it's good incentive for me to get the Old Town out and finish it, and the loop shawl I showed you, because that would be like, that would be a lot of yards. That would be almost 2,000 yards, those two projects. So yeah, I wish that would go till Labor Day though, because that's the true end of summer for me. I know it's Lala's summer and she starts school earlier because she's in the South, but I am participating in that, and I didn't do it last year. I did the year before, and it was a lot of fun. So I'll be doing that again this year, and if you haven't looked at it, check it out. I have another project, finally getting to some more baby knitting, and I want to cast on the Milo. It's by Georgie Hallam, and I need to actually get this pattern. But isn't that adorable? You can customize it, and I love how you get to do garter, stockinette, and a cable. The top is garter, body stockinette, and then you have that asymmetrical cable. And that's going to be for my friend's baby girl who I got to hold a bunch last night. She's beautiful and hilarious and just wonderful. So that is going to be cast on with my Socks That Rock Heavyweight and the Ciruela colorway that I got at Sheep and Wool this year. And that's 200 and, I want to say 70? No, 350 yards. Great yardage. So I think that'll make a beautiful Milo, and I'm sure there'll be enough left over for socks and a hat or something. So that is going to go on my needles sometime this summer as well, and I want to make it a little bit longer. What I like about this pattern is that it's going to be like a dress when she's little, and then maybe then a tunic, and then like a tank top, and she can wear a onesie underneath it. I think it'll be adorable. I think kids tend to get length before they get width, so I think this must have been a mom that designed this pattern, because I think it'll really grow with the kid. Alright, so we're on to the last thing today, which is acquisitions, and I got something in the mail that I had been waiting on. It was a pre-order, and it is some Fiber Nymph. It is Soft Kitty on the Bounce base. Soft Kitty, how does it go? Soft Kitty, the little ball of fur, something kitty, purr, 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 from The Big Bang Theory. Soft Kitty. So I'm excited to cast that on at some point. Probably not anytime soon. It is a self-striping, so it looks like it's got a light black, a gray, and a pink, and then in some places there's a very, just a hint of this purpley color. So one of my local yarn stores had a sale, and I went because I was returning a skein of Eco Wool that I did not need for my A-Day, the one that was the wrong dye lot, so to speak. So I had a store credit, and I picked up a 2-yard Nitty Knotty. This is a Kromsky. All I have is a 1 yard, and I just wasn't enjoying making those short little stubby skeins. So this is a beautiful, I think it's a mahogany stain, and it looks like a cherry. They said it was mahogany, but I love it. It's much more tiring to wind on this Niddy Noddy, and if you're not familiar with a Niddy Noddy, it's what you use to wind your handspun into a skein. You wind it around and you count as you go. So every round is 2 yards on this one. So you count by twos as you're winding, and then you get a vague idea of your yardage. I never reskein my handspun after I wash it, and I think you do lose some yardage depending on the fiber you have. I think you lose yardage because it tends to plump up after you wash it. So I'm excited about that. Been wanting one of those for a while. But I find it hard to buy tools when all I really want is pretty yarn and fiber. So I had store credits that made it a little easier. And honestly, I don't need yarn. I went to Fiberspace as well, to their new location, and I just don't need yarn. They have beautiful stuff, and I was there during the Dragonfly Fibers trunk show, but I don't need yarn. Although if they'd had more hazelnuts, I might have been tempted. Really like this stuff. But that seems to sell out as soon as they get that kind of stuff. So, is that it? I think that's it. So I'm going to go see how the air conditioner people are coming along. And I will see you guys next week. Probably the week after that, I will not be podcasting. My husband's family is coming into town from Spain, and they will be here for 10 days. Usually they come for a month. Okay, super annoying technical issues today. Let me just say goodbye. Have a fantastic week. I will see you next week. We will talk more then. Happy knitting and spinning. Take care. Bye-bye.